What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. I want to focus in on the Colorado Avalanche Minnesota Wild first round series that will be going down starting this week. Colorado clinched the Central Division, and the Minnesota Wild clinched the top wild card spot. Both teams that are have some really good young talent, a lot of good American talent on the teams, I might add, with Eric Johnson having a very good year for the Colorado Avalanche, and Ryan Suda, Parisi, Charlie Coyle, who we'll get to in a second. There's a little piece of history that I know that most of you people don't know concerning Patrick Roy and Charlie Coyle. Guess what? I'm going to share it. But let's talk about the two teams. How did they get here? Well, Colorado was a surprise story from the get-go. If it wasn't for Mike Babcock keeping the Detroit Red Wings together despite all their injuries, Patrick Roy would be my coach of the year. He came over from junior hockey, coaching the Ramparts, and has been absolutely awesome with the Avalanche. And you look at the captain Gabriel Landeskog's really increased his offensive productivity of 65 points. A young 21-year-old kid that's only going to get better. McKinnon was awesome this season as a rookie. Ryan O'Reilly, really bounced back after some issues last year with the contract and everything else. And Duchene was one of the best players in hockey until he got hurt. I don't know what his status is. I assume he'll come back later in the series, but I don't know. And Ryan O'Reilly only had 2 penalty minutes all year. I think it would have been cool for the whole year without any PIMs, but that's that. Semyon Varlamov has been excellent despite some issues, and again the team plays amazing hockey together in unity, in unison. My God, let's sing Kumbaya later. And again, they're coached by Patrick Roy, who had an amazing first year as NHL head coach. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised they improved, and I'm not surprised that Roy's done a great job coaching them. I'm just shocked that they, were one of the best teams in hockey like they were. They have a lot of talent, but Roy really was able to harness that talent and use it appropriately, which Joe Sacco couldn't do. And to think I once called Joe Sacco, a good coach. Hiding. Then Minnesota Wild had a very good season. Jason Palmerville really was awesome. I'd like to see him score 90 against Nashville to get his 30th. We'll see what happens there. He had 57 points to lead them. Mikko Koivu was banged up, but still had 53 points. Zach Parisi, also banged up for a period of time, still finished with has 28 goals when it's the last game of the season. Nino Niederreiter was a great pickup. Stealing him from the New York Islanders, who have awful player personnel management. They're god-awful. Michael Granlund's been banged up, but he really had a solid sophomore year in the NHL, and that will only get better. Not sure what his status is going to the series, but it's tough if he can't go. Josh Harding was a great story at the start of the season. He, with the MS coming back, it's been a tough draw for him. Ilya Bryzgalov, 7-0-3 with the Wild. That's awesome, and and Kemper was playing really well too until he got banged up. But I'd roll with Briz game 1 because he's probably the hot hand. And this is a guy that 3 years ago or 4 years ago in Phoenix was a Vezina finalist. I mean, for all the antics and stupid stuff, the guy can stop a puck when he's when he's not fixated on being a astronomer, humongous big. But I think he was described as 5-hole when he was in Philly. Through some issues with Danny Heatley as well with the team that could have easily disrupted team chemistry in terms of Heatley and Bryzgalov, but they were able to keep the blinders on. Heatley's been an okay sport about it. There's still some, I don't want to say animosity there, but whatever. Now, Charlie Coyle has been called the X Factor of the series. I'm not just saying that because he has a few power play shirts and is a lifetime player of the show. 30 points in 69 games in his second year in the NHL. Had some ups and downs, but was on an absolute heater going in down the stretch as the team really began to play very well as together. And you look at it, the 2 games against the Boston Bruins and St. Louis Blues, I thought he played amazing. He was on the score sheet in either game, but his physical presence was there. He was chipping the puck in, chasing it down, really just playing an all-around great game. And think about it, in the last few weeks, playing against Pittsburgh, playing against Chicago, he's been playing some awesome hockey. And, if the Wild want to go far, they're going to need him to play well. Now, what's that big Charlie Coyle, Patrick Roy story? 3 years ago, Coyle was at BU. He just finished his freshman year with Hockey East Rookie of the Year. San Jose hadn't traded him to St. Louis yet. This was about a week before that draft. middle of the Stanley Cup Finals, Bruins in Vancouver. I'm at a graduation party for one of my boys, one of my homies, and Coyle's agent, Glenn Giovannucci, was there. And I've never met Glenn, I'm kidding, but he goes, CJ, Patrick Waugh called me this week. It's like, great. Well, he didn't call me, so I was like bummed out, but he had the voicemail on his phone. He was trying to recruit Charlie to go play for the Quebec Ramparts, and ended up that season. Charlie ended up with the St. John Sea Dogs of the Q. And he said, it's pretty cool and everything. Roy knows talent. Roy is a great hockey mind. He's a businessman as well, and I think that little recruiting effort with Coyle was kind of like, the guy gets it. The guy knows what's going on, and I think from looking at it, as a fan of Roy, as a player, I can see a lot of times you look at Michael Jordan, you look at Wayne Gretzky. Jordan's an awful front office guy in the NBA. Wayne Gretzky was an awful NHL head coach. Usually the greats don't necessarily have the best understanding because everything came easy to them. But Roy started coaching Major Hockey right after he retired, coached the Ramparts, and now he's in the NHL. He climbed the ladder. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing in the series. He knows hockey, but he started at the... I'm not going to quote Drake. I refuse to quote Drake, but he started on a lower level of the ladder and climbed his way up. And I'm going to pick Colorado in 7 games. I think this is going to be an amazing series. I think, if you like good, hard, physical hockey, this is a series for you. And I think Minnesota can split in Colorado. They have a very good chance. But I like Colorado in this series. I like them. I think it's going to go 7. I like both teams. I just think, Roy's the X factor. And I think knowing that, coaching can only do so much, but coaching can win a game for you. If your coach won't lose you a game. And that's not to be disrespectful towards Mike Yeo, but I really like Roy as a coach, and I think he's going to reward me in believing in him. That's why he's going to do well, just to impress me. But anyway, that's all I got this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the Colorado Avalanche. By the way, I'm rooting for Minnesota. Don't get me wrong. I just got to be objective at times. That's all I got. Stay tuned for episode 2 of the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.